Hi guys, it's Angelina and I am back with another Halloween tutorial today. First of all, I'm sorry that it's been a little over a week since I last updated. I've actually been really sick. I had like the flu for a while and I would have even still filmed except that I lost my voice and it was like I sounded like an old man and it was very unfortunate. Start taking your vitamin C and your echinacea right now. Learn from my mistakes because it's just the time of year when people get sick. So as you can see, my hair is all tucked away in little braids throughout my head, and I just pulled it back with a headscarf to get it just out of my face because today's makeup is very intense. Today we're going to be doing kind of like a fawn inspired forest animal thing, and what I like most about it is that you can really make it your own. You can really do whatever you kind of want with it. So take mine as inspiration and let your wings soar. Yeah. So to start, I'm just going to do kind of almost my regular foundation routine. I basically do most of my face, a little bit onto the neck. I don't do it pretty heavy. I just want to basically create a base for our canvas so we can start creating the kind of fawn look. I'm going to be using, as usual, my Sephora 110 foundation brush. And the foundation that I use is Lancome's Teint Idole Ultra 24 Hour. And I'm totally butchering that, so no one's allowed to make fun, okay? The color that I use is 110 Ivory C. They have like cold and warm shades of foundation, which I really like, and I actually love this foundation. I've been using it for like years. I always apply foundation to my eye area with my fingers. I always do try to like continue the foundation just a little bit onto the neck, not very much. Just basically the excess of what's in my brush because you kind of want to create a flawless edge. Nothing's worse than when your makeup has like a line of when it finishes. So if you have any blemishes or under eye circles or like redness or whatever, you can absolutely use cover up as well. I'm just trying to create a good base for all of the rest of the makeup to stick to. Personally, I have a couple of blemishes and a little bit of redness around my nose, and I usually use my MAC NW15 Studio Finish Concealer for that, and I usually just apply it with my fingers because you can blend it out the best, I find. I think the fawn look is definitely becoming like more popular. I saw a couple of fawn-esque cosplayers at Comic-Con in the summer and they just looked so cute. I was like, I need to try that. That's adorable. So my next step would usually be to apply powder, but I'm going to apply a little bit of the liquid cream white makeup that we tried last time for the skeleton look, and it was not thick enough. But the fact that it's not thick is going to be perfect for this, actually. This is what it looks like. It's from Target. It's terrible. But the fact that it's so thin is actually going to come in handy today. So I'm going to apply a little bit around my mouth and chin area. This is on top of the foundation. Now I have pretty light skin to begin with. If you have darker skin, you can obviously still do this, but you might want to use a little bit of a thicker white makeup to cover a little bit better. So I'm trying to make my chin and mouth area a little bit lighter than the rest of my skin tone. Not quite white, but pretty close. So the color difference between my chin and the rest of my face is pretty subtle, but it's gonna help. So now we're gonna move on and start powdering our face. For my chin and mouth area, I'm going to use MAC's Shivering White Studio Fix powder. And then for the rest of my face, my forehead and upper cheek area, I'm gonna be using this Lancome Photogenic, again, I'm probably butchering that, Skin Illuminating Sheer Loose Powder, which is more like a little, it's a bit darker. It's more like my actual skin tone. And once you have your base of powder done, you can give it a quick blend out if you want to. I usually do. Why not, right? So this is the part where it actually starts to get kind of fun. We're gonna create a brown gradient coming up from our forehead and blending into our hairline and coming all the way down our face, into the nose, on the cheekbones here. And you're gonna need a bunch of different browns for this. What you use is obviously gonna depend on what you have. If you have darker brown makeup, i.e. bronzer, that's a good choice. I'm also gonna be using a variety of different eyeshadows. I've got MAC's Copper Plate here, Trina Tarantino Brooch. This is kind of more of an ashy brown. I've got a Sephora duo eyebrow thing in natural brown. Many different browns that you can use, and what you use is obviously, like I said, going to depend on what you have, but just use your best judgment. Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, which, as I've said before, I really love for applying powder on the face because it's such a dense powder brush. It's really great. You're going to find that like some browns, as they apply to your skin, are colder or warmer. Even as in comparison to how they look in the palette, they might be actually colder or warmer on your face. So you're probably gonna have to play around with it. With this kind of look, I would recommend doing a practice run either the night before or, you know, a week before or whatever, to see if you have all the products that you need and if you like how they actually end up looking on you. And the aim is kind of that you want it to be darkest around your hairline, kind of blending out. Now, depending on what you do for your costume, you may want to take some of the brown down around your neck, coming out towards the middle of your neck. Not filling in this part here, but coming out from here. But personally, I'm going to be putting a little kind of collar, a little fur shrug type thing. So I'm not going to put any makeup on my neck, but if you are having more of an open neck, that might be something that you want to consider. I'm going to add some blush, and I'm going to use MAC's Dainty. I'm now going to apply some Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion all over my lids and a little bit underneath my eyes. Once you have your primer potion on, I'm going to cover my whole lid with the lighter color in this Sephora palette. It's, again, natural brown duo eyeshadow, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of like a creamish color. And I'm gonna start with a brown eyeliner and go in and do some more of the detailing with black. I'm gonna use this Clinique Deep Brown Cream eyeliner and just a little paintbrush, because that's what happens when you're an art student. Your makeup and your art supplies start crossing over. So deer or fawns, like actual fawns, have kind of this little inner eye pull out of darkness, kind of like how cats would have. And so we're gonna try and recreate that. But it doesn't come straight across in, it kind of comes down like along the lines that your nose would follow. Mascara next, and no mascara on the bottom, just on the top lashes. Curling my eyelashes. And as usual, I'm going with my Rimmel Sexy Curves mascara, because that's my fave. Oh great, I got a blob of mascara on the bottom of my eye. That's just lovely. Don't you just love when that happens? Now I'm going to add a little bit of the black eyeliner just over top of the brown. It's NYC. It's like the cheapest eyeliner you can buy. Certain things in terms of makeup I'm very cheap about, i.e. eyeliner and mascara, because you have to replace them so often. You can't keep them for very long. For number one, like eye hygienics and stuff like that, but they just don't last. Whereas stuff like foundation, you know, lasts a little bit longer, and eyeshadow and stuff like that. So certain makeup things I'm really cheap about, and certain things I'm like willing to spend a little bit extra on. I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird. Alright, so while the mascara and eyeliner dries a little bit, I'm going to start blocking in my brows. If you don't draw in or fill in your eyebrows at all, you don't necessarily have to do this, obviously. To do this, I'm using my Anastasia Beverly Hills eyebrow pencil, and the color is taupe. It's pretty much brown though. I'm really not loving this pencil, TBH, because, yeah, I mean, I spent $30 on it, and I kind of expected for that price that it would be like phenomenal, and it's okay, it does the job, but for $30, I just, I don't know that it's significantly any better than any other pencil I've ever had. Let's put it that way. Just adding a little bit of the Clinique cream liner from before to the edges of my eyebrows to give them more definition. Next thing, I'm going to take my face paint palette from last video and use the white for this. I'm gonna mix up a little bit of the white, just with a regular art paintbrush, as we do everything around here. Then I'm going to kind of use this as an eyeliner around the bottom half of my eye. It's totally cool if you get it on the lashes, it doesn't matter. Obviously try not to get it on your eye though, that could hurt. Now, if you have a mascara that has a primer on one side that's white, now would be a good time to use it. If you don't, you can totally make this work using just the face paint. So now using more of the white face paint on the tiny little brush from before. I'm basically going to cover each eyelash in white. So that's kind of the effect that we're going for. Now for the top lashes, we're going to do really soft, subtle, gentle band that's not spiky or anything, just pretty neutral looking, but to give you extra volume, etc. So be honest, how many of you had a crush on the Fawn in the Narnia series that Disney put out? Let me tell ya, the first time I watched The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, like the new version, I was obsessed with the old version as a kid, but like the new version, as soon as I saw that Fawn, I was like, he's really cute. You guys are probably thinking, Ange, these aren't natural looking. Well, you're right. I thought they would be a little more subtle than they actually are. But whatever, we're just gonna work with it. That's not something I have a lot of. Stuff that is normal looking and not over the top. That's not really something I buy. I never go in a store and think, oh look, those look so natural. I definitely want to buy them. Starting to come together. Starting to look like a fawn. So the next thing I'm going to do is the nose and mouth, which you only need black face paint for. And again, I'm going to go from my magical palette that that again, I don't know the brand of. If you know, you should comment with it, and then if someone comments, I'll put it in the description box so that we can all know. Because I genuinely would like to know, because I need to buy more at some point. I really like this face paint, and I really recommend it. Whatever it is. I really recommend whatever it is. I'm a professional! And this part can be kind of tricky because we're gonna basically cover our top lip in black, and you really don't want to get any on the bottom, so you might have to be like for a while until it dries. See, now I have black lipsticks, but again, we don't want to use that because it'll just transfer onto the bottom lip. While we wait for that to dry, I'm gonna do the nose. Now comes possibly the most fun part of all, which is creating the spots and the effect of fur. This part is gonna really be up to your creativity, so just use mine as inspiration and go nuts and do your own thing with it. So I'm gonna use a wet, clean brush and put a little bit of it into my powdered eyeshadow. Another thing you can do is take an old but clean toothbrush, put it in some water, and mix it around in your face paint. I'm gonna do the white, and then flick. This gives more of an effect of like actual animal markings. Usually when you put them in yourself, they can look too like artificial. Don't get yourself in the eye. You can even go in with the toothbrush to make kind of fur effects. Now we're gonna do the spots. So just go back to the thin paintbrush you were using for the under eye and put some more white on it. And then I'm going to take the opposite end of the paintbrush, which is just blunt, and stick it in my face paint so it's kind of like a little bingo dabber. You can even do some more lines on top. Be sure to go in and put some tiny dots as well. So that's basically the finished makeup. I'm gonna go take my hair out and put on some accessories and let you see the finished look. So this is the finished look, you guys. I've accessorized with a little faux fur collar that I got from the Gap last year, I think during winter. And this flower crown I got at H&M about a year ago as well, but you can find flower crowns anywhere because they're becoming way more popular. Or you could just make one easily as well. There's lots of tutorials out there on how to do that. And here are some close-ups of the look. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you very much, and I will see you very soon. Bye!